Hello everyone and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Vorse. Just a brief reminder, if you're seeing this on Friday or Saturday, that the Scranton Talks have been rescheduled for this Saturday, April 16th. If you want some more information or want to register, please go to the learnthefaith.org website, learnthefaith.org. We've put it right up here for you. Okay, now on to today's topic. We get a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, asking, what can I do to help with the crisis in the church? Sometimes the smallest things can bring about the greatest change. So let's mix it up a little bit, should we? Because we don't really do that in the Vortex enough, right? Holy Communion in the hand. Now, here's one of those so-called third rail topics that Catholics aren't really supposed to talk about. First, the error. Holy Communion, and for the liberals out there, by way of gentle reminder, it is holy because it is Jesus Christ himself. The preferred way to receive Holy Communion is on the tongue. Yep, reception in the hand is the exception, not the rule, and don't let anyone tell you anything differently. Reception in the hand is absolutely not the preferred and recommended method. It never has been, and it never will be. In some countries, mostly the English-speaking ones, it has become standard, but it is not the preferred manner. And please get this straight, no matter what a priest tells you, no priest has the authority to repackage church history to suit his own tastes, no matter how well-intentioned he might be. Back in 2004, the Vatican released protocols for the proper reception of Holy Communion, and the preferred method is reception on the tongue. This is clear because in order to depart from this, a country's bishops had to first agree amongst themselves that they wanted to abandon the traditional method and adopt the newer method of in the hand. Next, they had to then submit their request to the Vatican for approval, and only then could the practice be given official approval. This is all shorthand for recognition of the simple fact that the traditional preferred way is reception on the tongue. That's why you have to be given an exception to receive it in your hand. So, while it is true that in America, for example, the norm for reception is in the hand, because that is what the bishops have simply decided, that norm is not the norm for the church universal. The universal norm is reception on the tongue. And for the record, no priest, bishop, deacon, or layperson can deny you Holy Communion simply because you wish to receive on the tongue and not in the hand. Do not be bullied on this point. The universal norm is reception on the tongue, period. Everything else is an exception. It is not sinful or illicit or invalid to receive Holy Communion in the hand, but it is also not the preferred manner. Why? Why is reception on the tongue universally the preferred manner? Because it demonstrates a profound respect and reverence for the sacred species, for the body and blood of our blessed Lord, which quite simply is oftentimes sorely lacking in the practice of reception in the hand. One, in fact, the only argument that in the hand crowd can ever seem to come up with is this. Early in the church, reception in the hand was the norm. While this has some truth on the face of it, it is not the entire picture. For example, even while receiving in the hand, the faithful never actually touched the host with their fingers. It was placed into their right hand and their right hand only, and they immediately consumed the host directly from their hand, not touching it with their fingers. So even then, Holy Communion in the hand was not what we see in a huge number of parishes today. Back then, the hand of the faithful had to be washed thoroughly before receiving Holy Communion and have touched nothing prior to that. The host was never placed in the left hand, always the right, and it was never touched with the fingers. So for all those priests and nuns who love using the "we need to get back to the way they did it in the early church" argument, they then have some integrity and tell the congregation exactly and completely how it was done, not just the way that makes it easier for non-Catholics to feel good about it. There is today a huge lack of belief in the real presence of our blessed Lord in the Eucharist. This precipitous drop in faith is of a concern to many, many people in the church. It's one of the purported reasons the Holy Father himself now administers Holy Communion on the tongue when people receive from him. When we step back and take a look at the whole picture, the whole big picture, and stop focusing on the trees and look at the forest, it's actually pretty clear. The host is Jesus Christ. It is not bread. It is not a symbol. Why wouldn't I want to show as much respect as I possibly could for my Eucharistic Lord, the Eucharistic Lord? Receiving on the tongue is a sign of respect. It translates into this: I am not worthy to touch the sacred host. The priest's hands have been consecrated for that, not mine. We have attached a number of articles and videos over here for you to learn much, much more than you can ever learn in an episode of The Vortex, and we urge you to look at all of them. So if you want to know something tangible you can do, talk to other parishioners, learn what you can of the matter, then politely approach your priest and ask if in your parish this can be preached on in an effort to restore respect and belief for the Blessed Sacrament. Now, later on, we're going to be talking about some more anguish the modernists have caused, and that would be about kneeling for Holy Communion. God love you. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.